We just did something interesting, so now we're gonna move on to our next thing, which is subject-verb agreement. And it says, the subject and the verb in a sentence must work together or agree. To make most present tense verbs agree with a singular noun, or, so now here it's giving you some pronouns. He, she, or it, you add an S or an ES. So an example would be, Mr. Roth works in his room. You guys see how the verb is work? Mr. Roth, see, some of you aren't listening. Some of you are playing with other things. And this is why when we get to the bottom, you're going to have no clue. And when I draw your stick, you're going to go, and then you're not going to know, and you're going to be upset, and it's going to be bad. You got to do your part, guys. I'm giving you an example. A singular noun is one person, place, or thing. So when I say Mr. Roth, if I use myself, I'm a singular noun. I'm one person. I wouldn't say Mr. Roth worked in his room. I need to add an S to the verb. The verb is work. Mr. Roth works in his classroom. You see that? Okay, my dog's name is Cy, C-Y. Cy hunt in the field. Cy hunts in the field. You see how singular nouns need a verb with an S or an ES. Okay, so I need to think of a verb where I have to add, I can't think of one off the top of my head where I have to add an E. Oh, there's one, watch. Okay, so Mr. Roth inside, oh, excuse me, oh, that's plural now. I can't do that one yet. Okay. Mr. Roth watched for ducks in the pond. Mr. Roth watches for ducks in the pond. There you go. All right. Does everyone understand if it's a singular noun, you have to add an S or an ES to the verb. And you would get that because it's literally right here. Who says they don't get it? To the, yep, and I did it a couple times where I said like, Mr. Roth work in his classroom. No, we have to add an S to work to make it works. Now, if the subject is plural, so say that if the subject is plural, what does plural mean? More than one. And it also includes the pronouns I, you, we, or they. The present tense verb does not end in an S. So watch. Mr. Roth watches for ducks in the pond, but Mr. Roth and Cy watch for ducks in the pond. You see how that works? So there, because it's plural, me and my dog, I don't add an S to the or an ES to watch because it doesn't make sense. And you should be able to catch these just by listening to them. You should be able to catch that something doesn't quite sound right. Mr. Roth in his class walks quietly in the hallway. Does that sound right?
No.
No, it's plural because it's me and the whole class. We walk quietly in the hallway. Okay. I watches for ducks. Do I watches for ducks?
No.
No. Even though I is a singular pronoun, do we add the S?
No.
And if you get stuck, look back up at these. They literally tell you. You may have to do some reading. So here are some examples. Ant tugs at his belt. He watches bear. Animals talk in some stories. See there, because it's plural, there's more than one animal. We don't have the S on the verb. Ants and bears act like people. Again, plural nouns, singular verb, or no S on the verb, I guess. It says use is or was to agree with singular nouns. Use are or we to agree with plural nouns. So check it out. Bear is angry. Bear, there's only one bear, right? Bear is angry. If it's singular, you use is or was. But if it's plural, like ants are small and stubborn, there's more than one ant. So here, the class is or was, or excuse me, is or are upset.
Are.
The class are upset?
Is.
No, because it's just one class. The students is or are upset.
Are.
Because there's more than one student. You get that the class is just one group. Even though it's more than one person, it's one group. The students are multiple people. Understand? Okay, so let's take a look at the first one. And I don't know what they're trying to say here, but I'm guessing that this is a name right here. So, Hone or Hoon, the changer, plant trees for forests. So if the name is Hone or Hoon, this is telling you that he's the changer, he or she is the changer. Plant trees for the forest. If there's good subject verb agreement, we say yes. If it's a no, or if it's not, then we say no. So Hone, plant trees for forests. You can take the changer out. Do you see that? Write yes or no in there. Hone, plant trees for forests. Braxton, yes or no, and how do you know?
No, because plants should be plural. Because plant just sounds like.
Or we should add an S to plant. It should be plants.
Yeah.
Why?
Because then it's just saying, like, it doesn't make sense.
Yep, and hone is singular, right? It's a singular noun. And up at the top it says singular nouns, we generally have to add an S or an ES. Okay, number 2. He becomes tired of his work. Yes or no, and how do we know? Ava. Yep, and it even says up here that when we have the pronoun he, we generally add S or ES. So becomes is the proper way to do that. Number 3, Bear's name is Chetwynd. Delia, yes or no on this one? Yeah. Okay? Okay, and also, I know that the verb here is, and if you look right here, when you have a singular subject, you use or was. And they're telling you if Bear's name is something, Bear is singular, right? Okay. All right, number 4. Bears catches ants in rotten logs. Rajan, yes or no?
No, because
What? Verbs can't be singular or plural. I guess they could be. But then I think they're nouns actually. You can't really have plural verbs. But this verb would need an S on the end, yes? because the noun is singular. Okay, try the last three on your own. 5, 6, and 7. Actually, before you do that, here's what I want you to do. See that shape I made there? How can you not? It's right here.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah.
By those, you're going to put D, T, I, C, because we did those together. These three are going to be on your own, and that way I'll know that I'm looking at 5, 6, and 7. Try those on your own. We're going to go over the bottom one. Who needs more time for the top? Excellent. We're moving on. Okay, the bottom says, this time you're just circling the verb in the parentheses, or not parentheses, yeah, parentheses, sorry. In the parentheses that correctly completes each sentence. I like or likes the story about ants' waste. So read that, circle it. Circle which one it should be. Should it be I like the story about ants' waste or I likes the story about ants' waste? Macy.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Macy, we're doing number 8.
Oh, okay. Right.
Like. Why?
Because likes is not.
And up here, it says that if the subject is a plural noun or, well, you guys can't see that, or I really want you guys, when we do these worksheets, to really start referring back to the rules. Because by referring to the rules, then we're probably committing those to memory a little bit better, and we're hearing them more. So right here it says, if the subject is a plural noun or I, the present tense verb does not end in S. That's why we would pick like. Number 2, an insect flies or flies from its nest. Which flies is right? Okay, which one would it be? Porter.
Oh, flies.
Yeah, they're both flies. Which one?
The one spelled F-L-I-S.
Very good. Good job. Doing one more together. Bears sleep through the cold winter months or bears sleeps through the cold winter months? Okay, which one should it be? Autumn.
This
Why?
because it is more than
Very good. Now we're going to make that same symbol right here, and we're going to write E, T, I, C, and then you're going to do 11 and 12 on your own. Good?
Good.
Excellent. 8 through 10, yep. And 11 and 12 are on your own.
You still have the other side to do.
Wow, you put a lot of effort into those. Good job. All right, let's find our way back. Then when you're done, you need to get in. Then we need to get into our reading book. All right, let's get up the reading up. We'll finish our story. Oh, I don't want that.
Yeah.
It's coming. Yeah, 3, 8, 9. 388, 389.
No, we didn't. We didn't do it again. Let me do it again.
Everybody there? 388? Excellent.
Yeah, we did.
Well, we'll find out. Even if we did, maybe we'll do it again. Who knows? Who knows? We'll be fine. Maybe we did, maybe we didn't. Either way, maybe we'll do it again. Doesn't matter. 388. All right. There's Iamanya, and again, if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. There's Iamanya's daughter. The servants just opened up the bag up. I don't have everybody there, so I'll wait just a second. Here we go. The servants just opened the bag yesterday, so it says, make sure you're being responsible for your learning. This is me being responsible for you being responsible for your learning. But the servants were in luck because Iamanya's daughter was standing at the shore waiting and waiting for their return. Ever since they had set out on their journey, she had stood in one spot under a palm tree at the edge of the sea, shading her eyes with her hand and praying for the darkness. And she was still standing in that spot when the servants let night escape. Night has come at last, she cried, and she saw the blue-black shadows gather on the horizon. I greet you, my kinship spirits. And when she spoke, the night spirits were suddenly calm, and there was a hushed darkness. Then the gentle hum of the night creatures began, and moonbeams flickered across the sky. The creatures of the night
Appeared.
before her, the owl hunting by,
Moonlight.
and the tiger finding its way through the forest by
Smelling.
the dark, damp earth. The soft air grew heavy with the smell of night perfume. To Iamanya's daughter, this coming of night was indeed like the quiet after crime or the end of the storm. It was like a dark, cool covering everything. And just as if a soft hand had soothed her tired eyes, Iamanya's daughter fell fast asleep. She awoke feeling as if she were about to. How rested she was after the coolness of her night dreams. Her eyes opened to the what? Brightness of the glistening day. And in her heart, she knew she would find peace in her husband's land. And so, too,
Celebrate.
the beauty of her new home, Iamanya's daughter made 3 gifts. Okay, we're going to stay on that page for just a second. The narrator in this story is the narrator in this story first person or third person, and how do you know? Talk with a partner.
She saw. He saw. I saw.
Elizabeth, first or third person?
Third.
How do you know?
Because they don't say I or me.
Yeah, if it was a first person, would be talking about themselves, so you'd hear more I and me's and things like that. Yes, very good. So I know that the night spirits are all the things Iamanya's mother put in the bag. Or excuse me, Iamanya put in the bag. When the night spirits hear the voice of the daughter, they are reminded of their goddess and Iamanya, and it calms them down. So that's kind of what brings everything back to normal. So now the book wants to know, what conclusion could you draw about why daylight returns after Iamanya's daughter has slept? Why do you think the daylight returns after Iamanya's daughter slept? Talk with a friend. Maybe a better way to put that is, we know that the nighttime and the darkness is there now. Why doesn't it just stay around all the time? Why does day come back? Talk with a friend. Hadley, why do we think it comes back? Okay. Okay, because she just needed some. Anybody else? Anything to add? Any inference you could make, Parker?
Also, normally when you sleep, it's normally dark out. When you wake up, it's normally daytime. Depends on the time, but the daylight saving time, it might still be dark, but it could be more light.
Okay, anybody else? Elizabeth?
Because I forgot what it is.
Okay, Mackenzie.
Because it's
said that daytime always comes forever, so night's probably only gonna come once.
Okay. Some ideas that were mentioned in the book are that it returns because the bag only had a small amount of nighttime in it, and that she just needed a little bit to be able to be happy in the land of the daylight, because she realizes that it is the land of the daylight and that's where she lives, but she still needs a little bit of darkness. Okay, 390. To the last bright star, still shining above the palm tree, she said, "Glittering star, from now on you will be our sign that night is. You shall be called the morning star, and you will the birth of each day." To the rooster standing by her, she said, "You shall be the watchman of the night. From this day on, your voice will warn us that the light is." And to the birds all about her, she called, "You singing birds, you shall sing your." Okay, some of you aren't doing your job, and I heard a tree flop down, which means you're playing with your pine tree. So if I find out who's doing that, you'll automatically go get or have to go take a dojo point. So let's try it again. You shall sing your songs at this hour to announce the dawn of each day. To this day, the gifts of Iemanya's daughter help celebrate each new sunrise. In Brazil, the early morning is called madrugada. As the madrugada slides onto the horizon, the morning star reigns in the sky as queen of the dawn. The rooster announces the days to the sleeping birds, and then they sing their most beautiful songs. There's the rooster right there. That's him. Make sure you're following along, please. Doing your job, reading with us. And it is also true that in Brazil, night leaps out quickly, like a just as it leapt quickly out of the bag in the beginning of time. The night flowers suddenly open their petals at dusk, and as they do, the owl and tiger begin their hunt for food. The beasts and birds and insects of the night begin to sing their gentle when the dark, cool blanket of night covers everything. The people on earth take their rest. And there's Iemanya's daughter with the birds that will sing. So here I said, in these pages, I read the simile that night in Brazil, this is a simile. The night in Brazil leaps out quickly like a bullfrog, just as it leapt quickly out of the bag in the beginning of time. Can you guys picture how a bullfrog leaps based on that? See if you can picture how a bullfrog leaps when I read this. The night in Brazil leaps out quickly like a bullfrog, just as it leapt quickly out of the bag in the beginning of time. What does that mean? What does that simile mean? Some of you are doing your own things and having your own little side things, and I'm not very happy about it. Self-control. Right, what does that mean?
Like, comes up fast.
Yeah, it comes fast. Very good, very good. Why is the sequence of gifts on page 390 important? What that means, we maybe don't see them as gifts, but she gives jobs to different things. Why is that sequence important? It kind of starts at the top of 390, probably from the spot where it says glittering star. Go ahead and chat with a friend. Mackenzie, why is it important? Why is the sequence of those gifts handed out by Iamanya's daughter important?
Because it ends with glittering star probably means the sun, and the sun's a very important thing. We didn't have the sun.
No, I think it means like the last star that you see before sunrise. It kind of hangs on and it's really bright. You can still see it when the light comes out. I think it's talking about that star. And why they're more talking about, like she goes, and to you, you will do this, and to you, you will do this, and you will symbolize that. And they're asking, why is that sequence important? That's what it kind of wanted you to talk about. Gavin. Okay, we'll get you some help. Chase.
I think the sequence of events is important because, I mean, like, movies and stuff, they should, like, wake up the keepers so it's open to
Done. Rajan.
and because of the rise of the history of Cornwall, because of the versions that open like
Yeah, they build on each other, don't they? The star signals the morning. And that signal of the morning is the signal to the rooster to alert people that it is morning. And the rooster crowing that it's morning alerts the birds, and the birds sing to alert everyone else. So those things build. The sequence is important because you wouldn't be like, birds, you sing when it's morning, and the star, you will signal morning, but the rooster will crow to alert the birds because you'll see the star. Yeah, it doesn't, that's a weird sequence, isn't it? When you do it in that order. Where you can go, star, you're the last light of night. You'll alert the rooster that morning's coming. Rooster, you will crow when you realize that it's morning to alert the birds. And birds, you will sing to alert the rest of the world that morning has come. Those are kind of what it's saying. I don't know if those are necessarily gifts, but you guys get the point there. Okay. Moving on here. Okay, it says folktales are different from, folktales from different cultures seek to explain certain things that occur in nature. Why do you think natural occurrences are often the subject of folktales? Go ahead and talk with a friend. We're going to go Hadley with Mackenzie because I've kind of noticed I don't think you guys are really meshing right now. You guys are kind of butting heads. And I think that it's probably a little on both sides and we could have probably done better. Macy, you and Chase. Maddie, why do you think natural occurrences are often the subject of folk tales? Did you guys have anything? Because there's different animals, what? Okay. Parker.
Because there were some people who believe in them, some can. And those people who believe can tell it to other people.
Blake.
Because if you look for stuff in nature, it can be really interesting.
Okay. I think it has more to do with this. Thousands of years ago, when a volcano erupted, it didn't make any sense to anyone because people didn't understand how those things work. Or why does the night come? And children are naturally inquisitive, and humans in general. So a child or somebody goes, why does the volcano erupt? Or why is it dark at nighttime? Or whatever language they're using. And then in whatever primitive language they have, or even if it's a developed language, they go, well, the volcano erupts because our creator is mad at us because we did. They didn't understand that it has to do with tectonic plates and the movement of things under the earth and pressure building up. And night, they didn't understand that it's just the idea that the earth spins, and as the earth spins, a different part of the earth points towards the sun. That, for goodness sake, we thought the earth was flat for a long time.
Some people don't think that.
Yeah, some people incorrectly still think that. I'm sorry if you think that the earth is flat, but you're wrong. And you can believe it if you want, but evidence would say you're wrong. So people needed ways, and some of you aren't listening right now because you're like, I'm checked out. It's 2:10. I don't have to work anymore. No, you do need to work. You need to listen because I'm explaining to you so you can understand why folk tales came to be. It's because they had to have a way to explain these things, and they didn't scientifically have the way to explain them like we do. Right? Okay, I'm just going to tell you the simile. On 383, the author uses this simile. Night is like. Now, simile is a comparison using like or and. Like or as. That's not it. I'm messing that up. But like is a key for a simile. Night is like the quiet after crime or the end of the storm. Now, they want to know, what similes would you use to describe night? Again, theirs was night is like the quiet after crime or the end of a storm. Go ahead. See if you can come up with one. Yeah, that'd be okay. Okay, who thinks they have a good simile? I'm going to take a few of these. See a lot of the usual suspects with their hands up. Maddie, give me one.
Night is like everything that's
Okay. Pretty literal simile, but it's true, I suppose. Elizabeth.
quiet after war.
Okay. I've never experienced war, but maybe. Delia. Night is like when, okay. Usually you want to compare unlike things or things that are different, but yeah, that's a literal one, I guess. Braxton.
Night is like water after flood.
Water after a what?
Flood.
Okay. Parker.
Like a dark cave.
Okay, very good. That's a good one. Macy. Sky after a storm. Hadley.
The water after rage is because it's in the substance. The flower after it.
Okay, very good. Number 4 says, after the servants let the night escape, they run terrified into the jungle. What might the jungle be like at night? Describe what the servants might see, hear, smell, or feel. What did you do? Okay, what would you see in here at nights? Sorry about the delay there. Got the usual suspects again. Looking for some new ones. Porter. Okay, Blake.
They would feel like really damp if it's a dense jungle.
Mm-hmm.
They would probably not be able to see anything in that snow. Like they're in a jungle, leafy and fresh. And then they would probably feel animal visions.
Yeah. Autumn. Oh, definitely. All right, in the interest of getting done, let's move on. We're going to read about the author and the illustrator. This is Mary Joan Gerson, and she became interested in writing books for children when she and her husband were in Nigeria serving with the Peace Corps. After she returned to the United States, she wanted to write books so that American children could learn about Africa. Miss Gerson travels to learn about cultures. How night came from the sea grew out of a trip she made to Brazil, where she went to experience the Yoruba culture. The tale shows the importance of women in Yoruba religion. In addition to her work as a writer, Miss Gerson is a psychologist and on the faculty at New York University. And that lady is Carla Golembe, and she is an artist, writer, and teacher. Her paintings have been displayed in art galleries, or her art, she says, my paintings are the product of my dreams and experiences. That sounds fantastic. Miss Golembe loves to travel to warm places. When she paints jungles or oceans, she thinks of her experiences in Mexico, Belize, and Hawaii. She likes to use tropical colors in her illustrations. All right, let's close our books. Flip that worksheet over the subject-verb agreement one. You look at the spelling worksheet. We've done these up. I hear lots of talking. You guys could wait like 3 minutes. You'll be able to get to work on this. Up the top, there's going to be 6 misspelled words and add a missing punctuation mark. You've done these enough, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Circle the misspelled word and write it correctly. A trout stream, a raised eyebrow, the state's boundary line, a broken flower pot, a big coward, and a noise like a hound. Questions, comments, or concerns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realized something.
Yes.
Howard is one of our spelling words and one of our vocab words.
Yeah, interesting, isn't it?